Friends, in this video I will explain the concept of unguided media for 8 marks. Unguided media refers to a communication channel that use wireless signal to transmit data. These signals travel through the air without any physical conductor. Common types of wireless transmission include radio waves, microwaves and infrared. Wireless communication involves transmitting electromagnetic waves without using a physical conductor like cables or wires. Instead, signals are broadcast through free space, making them accessible to any device equipped to receive them. So, before entering into the different types of wireless media, we need to look about the basics of wireless communication, electromagnetic spectrum for wireless communication. Wireless communication utilizes the portion of electromagnetic spectrum ranging from 3 kHz to the 900 terahertz, as shown in the below figure. This spectrum includes a varieties of frequencies that allow different methods of signal transmission. So here, which is going to start from 3 kHz to the 900 terahertz. So and then the frequency it has been ranging from 3 to the 300 gigahertz, which comes under the radio wave and the microwaves. And then in between 300 to the 400 we are going to indicating a infrared. Next, types of propagation. There are three different types of propagations are present: ground propagation, sky propagation and the line of sight propagation. First one, ground propagation. In this method, low frequency radio waves travel close to the earth's surface following the curvature of the planet. These signals radiate from transmitting antenna in all directions, and the distance they cover depends upon the power of signal. The higher the power, the further the signal can travel. If you look at this diagram, we can easily understand. So, ground propagation. It will use the ground as a propagation medium, and then from that we can able to communicate between from the base station to the range. So, it is also called as ionosphere. And then second is that the sky propagation. Higher the frequency radio waves are transmitted upward into the ionosphere, where they are reflected back to the earth. This method enables the long distance communication with relatively low power. So this which is going to indicating onto the sky propagation. So between the two base stations or maybe the endpoints it is going to communicate it, and then so from that we can able to send the data. And the third is indicating that the line of sight propagation. In this method, very high frequency signals are transmitted directly between antenna in the straight line. So the antenna must be properly aligned and either tall enough or close enough to avoid being affected by the curvature of the earth. This method is more complex because radio waves can't be perfectly focused. So we must exactly focus on to the one sender to the another receiver or one satellite to the another satellite. So next, frequency bands. The electromagnetic spectrum for wireless communication is divided into the 8 different ranges of bands. So these bands are classified based on frequency or regulated by the government authorities. So these ranges extend from very low frequency to extremely high frequency. So ranges from 300 to 330 kilohertz, and then we'll use a very low frequency, middle frequency, high frequency, very high frequency, ultra high frequency, super high frequency, extreme high frequency and light wave. Next, radio waves. Frequency range is typically 3 kHz to the 1 GHz. Characteristics of radio waves. Omnidirectional propagation. Radio waves are mostly omnidirectional, meaning they spread out in all the direction from the transmitting antenna. The sending and the receiving antennas don't need to be aligned for successful communication, as any receiving antenna in range can pick up the signal. However, these characteristics also leads to disadvantage: interference. Multiple antennas transmitting on the same frequency or band can interfere with one another. And the second characteristic is that a long distance travel, penetrations of walls. So we can able to cover up the long distance, and then the radio waves can easily penetrate the walls and then other objects. The limitations will be radio waves band is relatively narrow and then low data rates, and then the official the permissions it has been required. So like that some of the limitations are present. Omnidirectional antenna. Radio waves typically utilize omnidirectional antennas which can transmit the signal in all directions. These antennas come in various types depending on factors like wavelength, signal strength, and intent purpose of transmission. Applications of radio waves. So, thanks for their omnidirectional nature, radio waves are widely used for multicasting, where one sender transmits to many receivers. So, some of the examples are AM, FM radio, television, and broadcasting. Marine radio, cordless phones, paging systems. So, this is the omnidirectional antenna diagram. And then second is that microwaves. So microwaves which is going to range from 1 gigahertz to the 300 gigahertz. The characteristics which will be the microwaves require a line of sight transmission, meaning the transmitter and receiver must be directly visible to each other. They are less effective in penetrating obstacles like building. So if you observe whatever the dish we have installed onto the each and individual home, we can be able to analyze the microwaves, because the antenna it is going to segregate the waves, it is going to reflect it from the satellite, and then it is going to project or point out to the single point. So from the many different directions it will receive the signal, and then good signal it will be transmitted to the whatever the TVs are present or the other devices. Applications: satellite communications, radar systems, and microwave ovens. In networking, microwaves are used for point-to-point communication, links, and cellular networks. And the last is that infrared. So the frequency which has been ranged from 300 gigahertz to the 400 terahertz. Infrared signals are used for short-range communication and do not penetrate walls, making them suitable for indoor use. They are highly directional and require line of sight transmission. So some of the applications are remote control, short range data transmission, and infrared sensors for detecting heat in security system or medical devices. Thank you.